Chair, members of the board, and Dr. Casey. I'm Steve Donohoe with the Planning Department. This is my first official time coming before you, so thank you for having me. I'm going to start with just a brief overview of the department, and then I'm going to briefly hit on some of the key projects that we are working on in the Planning Department. We have a department of 45 overall employees. We have 45 folks. We're broken up into about 6 areas of focus. The board gets to see a fair amount of our zoning team. We obviously have a lot of cases that we bring forward to you on a monthly basis. Our comprehensive plan team, you probably see those folks a fair amount as well, and then a little bit less so with our plans review team. But beyond that, we have a number of teams that are really at the front lines of dealing with our citizens and customers. That's our customer service, as well as our planning operations folks. And we have GIS information systems analysts that do a lot of the maps and data analysis that is critical in what the planning office or the planning department provides in terms of planning services. Over the past year, we've had a fair amount of transition, I would say. We had some turnover in the early part of the year, and we've approached that with it being an opportunity. We've gone forward. Andy Gillies, our director, of course, with the support of Jesse Smith and Dr. Casey, we've attacked the need for staffing, in particular in our zoning team, to address the workload that we have ongoing in that team. So that resulted in the bringing on of 8 new staff. I'm one of the fortunate recipients of a position here in the planning department, which I'm very happy to be here. I started in late February. So we have basically either through rehiring or new hires or reclassing or reorganizing, we have about 40% of the positions in our office that have been reorganized to better meet the mission of our department overall. So I think there's a lot to be positive about and how we're poised to meet our future workload. Speaking of workload, I'll touch on briefly. We do expect to have an increase on the number of zoning cases that the board approves this year from 2020. I think you don't have to look too much further than tonight's agenda to understand that we have a fair amount of work coming through the zoning team to the Planning Commission and board on a monthly basis. We do, I believe, 14 cases this evening. Moving on to plans review, it's kind of the same story there with the number of different types of plans that are under review and have been approved this year. We do expect an uptick from last year's total of projects that team is responsible for reviewing and approving. And so there's plenty of work there that group is focused on. The next group I want to touch on is the comprehensive plan and research team. This group is very busy. We have probably the largest and most impactful project that is being worked on by that team. Rachel Chieppa is the manager of the comprehensive plan team. She's also the project manager for the ZOMOD, which is the overall overhaul, I should say, of the zoning ordinance to better meet the goals of the community, of course, better align with the comprehensive plan policies. Next, we have the comp plan modernization, which is underway with a goal of completion in early part of next year. I've included a map there on this slide just to show the area that's impacted by this. It's a fair amount of the county. We have 4 kind of stale, outdated plans that are going to be addressed as part of this project. We're also working through an update in the public facilities plan. We're hoping to have that early 2022. And we're continuing to, of course, to work through the Midlothian Special Area Plan implementation. A couple other projects the comprehensive plan and research team are working on is the Roseland rezoning. That project is the development of an overlay, which we are continuing to get feedback from the Roseland property owners as well as other departments weighing in on that project. We do have a goal for that to start the public hearing process in the winter of next year and culminating in the spring of next year. And then we have the Genito Route 288 Special Focus Area Plan. This plan includes both River City Sportsplex and the South Side Speedway. In October, we had a community meeting. Supervisor Winslow, you hosted that. What I understand, well attended and a lot of good feedback. And we are continuing to solicit feedback from the community and then circle back on what the timeframes would be on that. Other two more projects just to touch base on. We have the Spring Rock Green project. This is a zoning case. This is an exciting redevelopment project at the corner of Midlothian Turnpike and Chippenham Parkway. The county is working with development partners here to really create a destination use in the Midlothian Turnpike corridor. The property right now has an aging strip center, commercial strip center, I should say, that really does need a shot in the arm. And so this project is a mixed-use, dynamic urban mixed-use development that we expect to have in this area. So that the picture on the right there is kind of a vision for what that could look like, having a mix of uses, multi-story, multi-family development, office and commercial, and potentially a sports and entertainment component, which would be exciting. And there's also a public facility there with a police station that's contemplated. The bar is high for this particular project. The county has high expectations, and we really do think that this would be a project that really could be transformative for the corridor. And then last project just to touch on is we're working in the zoning team right now. We're working through an economic development focused project at Upper Magnolia Green. There's two rezonings that we're working through right now. The land for these rezonings were initiated by the board in September, and then we expanded that project area in October. So this is a new project that we're working on. It is split into two different zoning cases. It's split by the future alignment, or the alignment for Powhite Parkway, with the area to the west, a larger portion of the project being kind of a job-focused area, employment center, tech village kind of concept, while the area to the east, we're going to designate up to 200 acres for public use, really focused on having schools in that particular area. And then there will be another component to this project. There will be a reduction in the overall number of residential units that are currently entitled for that piece of property, so that should be received well, hopefully. And then we have the last slide here is just to show that component of kind of, again, a preliminary plan of what the school's layout might be on that 150 to 200 acres that would be included in that project on the Upper Magnolia Green East. So with that, I'll wrap up the planning department portion of the presentation. Thanks for your time this afternoon.